What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to my channel, Your Soul's Passion Consultant. I'm here with another video, and this series is about being pregnant on purpose. This is my fifth installment of being pregnant on purpose. I've been gone a while in regards to this series, and I had to kind of like analyze my posting and what I'm doing here on my YouTube, and I had to realize that this is the hardest series for me to do. It's already hard enough to get on camera and, open myself up to the world, but to open myself up into the world in this capacity in regards to my fertility and my journey to becoming pregnant and sharing some intimate things that have happened on my journey, it's been difficult. This is probably the last thing I want to do, but I'm here. I know I've shared some things with the other parts, but today I just want to talk about where I am today in my fertility. And the goal is to come on here from time to time just to kind of let you guys know my mindset, what am I doing, um, and just my relationship with my womb, and the relationship with the rest of my body, the relationship with my environment, some of my family members, just what am I doing and what's impacting my fertility as I look at some of my traumas, working on my chakras. Um, so that's what this is about today. Nothing too deep, just a casual conversation. I do have some notes that I'm going to make sure I hit some bullet points as I was having my aha moments in regards to this subject matter. So I want to make sure I stay on task. So if you see me looking away, that's what I'm doing. I want to make sure I'm giving you guys the true essence of my message for today. So, what have I been doing lately in regards to my fertility? Those who are out there who are trying to get pregnant, you guys already know it consumes you. Well, I'll speak for me. It consumes me at times. And if I'm not busy being productive in other areas of my life, I tend to always go back here because this is where I feel like I'm broken, as I've journeyed on. I know I'm not broken. I know this is a part of my journey, my life's journey here to conquer some things. So I know I'm not broken. So I know that. But these are some thought processes I've had in the past to where when I'm stressing or things aren't going my way, or if I'm just being lazy and don't want to get on the ball with other things in my life, things kind of settle it to where I'm lacking. Well, maybe if I had a child, things would be different. Or maybe this would be better if I was a mom, all these things. These things and these thoughts are not necessarily rational thoughts, but these are my thoughts. This is what I'm thinking. If maybe my marriage, my relationship with my husband would be better if we could just have a child, which we all know producing a child and having a child is going to make things even more difficult. So again, very irrational, but again, these are my thoughts. So just want to let you know where my thoughts are today. How am I feeling today? And today I'm feeling good. Today I'm feeling, good. I'm feeling confident. I do have moments of anxiety, but not necessarily in regards to being a mother or motherhood, just other things in my life. But I understand that does impact me becoming a mother, my anxiety, my stresses, and how I let things settle in my body. And I've learned that I do let things settle in my body in my womb. So the more I can show myself some love, show myself some care and be lighter on myself and even vocalizing things that I need to get out off of my chest, the better I am making the better chances I'm making myself to, become pregnant. I know I'm very sensitive. I know it takes only the slightest things, the littlest things to kind of irritate me, my body, not necessarily me within my mood, but within the functionality of my body. So I have to really, really manage my stress. So that's what I've been doing, guys. I've been taking account what's frustrating me and learning to let things go more. I have been doing some root chakra research and really understanding what that means. And a large part of root chakra work is letting things go, shaking things off. So a lot of times when we've been traumatized, we don't do that. We hold on, we hover it. And for me, it sits in my womb. I can literally feel the pain. I can feel a knot in my stomach when I haven't let things just kind of flow. So managing my stress and making sure my digestive system, things of that nature, is being processed properly is a tool that I'm focusing on to let go of things. Not stressing, not overthinking. And then one way of not doing that for me is talking it out. Usually talking it out to someone who could probably think more rational about it. And for them to say, well, Shonda, that's not really what it is. And so, and I'm like, okay, that's true. I'm overthinking it, or maybe I'm thinking about it right, but so even getting confirmation, like, yeah, no, you're on the right path, and that even helps. That even like releases some stress off of my shoulders to say, no, you were right in that area. So it's okay for you to think that way. Like people giving me permission. So that's why I want to be able to give you guys permission to go and flow and, live in your life, live in your truth until you move on from that place. So it's okay. So managing my stress, making sure I'm not holding things, letting things go, knowing that things aren't going to always go a certain way. And when I need to process those things before I can fully let it go, I'm breathing. So I've noticed when my heart is panting and beating a little fast. I know to give myself some air. I know to give myself some deep breaths. And I've been doing that. And I visualize oxygen going to my womb, going to my sacral chakra. What I've noticed through my research and understanding what the sacral chakra needs, it needs hydration, it needs air, it needs oxygen. It needs to be able to things to flow, and that's how you're able to detox monthly with your monthly period. So all of those things, when things get stuck and they're not able to flow, which has been my issue, is because I'm holding on to things. I'm holding on too tight instead of relaxing and letting, oxygen flow through that space and then make sure I'm eating hydrating foods. So I've been focusing on that, which leads me to the next point, which is intermittent fasting. I've done it in the past and I did it last month as just kind of ending my month with the intermittent fast and before I went on vacation, and it was wonderful. I was able to do some coffee enemas in between that while I was intermittent fasting, and I was able to release a lot of toxins, and I just felt good overall. So I said, okay, let me keep this up. Let this be a lifestyle instead of just let me do this 3 or 4 days. This used to be kind of what I do every day or most days out of the week. So I won't, I'll be realistic. Let's do this most days. And by doing that has helped. Because what I've learned, when I overeat or if I overthink something or I overstress, my body shuts down and is unable to process everything. So by eating less, when I do finally eat, and eating not as often, is giving my body a break because it only needs to process so much. Again, I said I'm very sensitive, meaning even the way my body processes like foods that I'm eating, even though I'm eating good foods, but overeating those good foods is not doing me any justice. It's taking me a day and a half to break all of that down. So if I'm eating less and eating smaller portions, I'm not starving myself, but I am strengthening my mind by doing this. I am strengthening my willpower by doing this, and I believe this is all things that I'm gonna need once I become a mom. So like I need to get this done, get this understanding now. I'm gonna have to have a strong willpower. I'm gonna be able to have to fight and put myself in uncomfortable, not fight, but put myself in uncomfortable situations, and being able to be a good parent. So all the things I want to do in the future as a mom, I need to start doing it now. So it's not always comfortable being a mom. You're not always able to sit down and just enjoy this big meal. Sometimes you're on a go. Sometimes you probably are not eating as much. And not to say those are good practices, but let's just be honest. You're caring for that child, you're caring for that baby. So you're not, always able to give yourself the things you're normally able to do if you were a single person. So intermittent fasting has been wonderful. And this is I've been doing it this week and it's been great. Able, like I said, release toxins. My bathroom sessions are a lot easier because it's not much to break down. It's not much to try to process. So, things are flowing in that area. And overall, when I'm done for the day with my fasting and then I finally eat, I feel accomplished. I sleep better. I'm waking up and I do feel rested for the most part, which allows me to go ahead and move on to the next thing for that morning. So yeah, it's been really awesome. I wanted to discuss the fact that I've done a lot. Like I said, this journey has been 15 years, and that's when I've been conscious of my infertility, like really conscious of it, of the infertility. Um, but the diagnosis of the polycystic ovaries, like I've stated in other parts of this series, was diagnosed back in my 20s. So I'm thinking, you know, because we grow up in this industry, in this world, in this culture where, okay, just pop a pill or take this injection, and then that's how you're going to heal the situation. What spirit had to show me and tell me is, no, baby girl, we're gonna have to heal this holistically. Where some people are able to, you know, take a couple of pills, go through a few series of IVF, and finally get pregnant. And since I'm not going that route, I'm choosing at this stage not to go that route. Um, I'm like, okay, so if I'm not doing that, what else am I supposed to be doing for my fertility? Even if it's not to even get pregnant, right? Even just to get a monthly cycle, like I need that in order to be healthy. I need that to order to detox my body. I need that for my mind. And if I'm not getting that, like, let's start there. Forget about, you know, producing a child after all of this, although that is my goal. But let's back it back a little bit. I need to just focus on getting a monthly cycle. And that has been a challenge. And I notice when I don't move my body, when I overeat, when I'm stressing, all of you can forget about a cycle for me. That's how sensitive I am. Like, um, so what I've noticed, and just kind of like being in my quiet time, just like looking at other people, thinking about other women, because that's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this for other women, other couples who have been struggling and, you know, trying to figure out what is this. I'm just putting my 2 cents out there to see if somehow I can connect and you can get something from it to apply to your life. So what I noticed is not about the medication and the pills and all of that. A lot of it does have to do with divine timing. I definitely understand that. But a lot of it is I had to unwind some traumas. I had to unwind my relationship with my vagina. I had to unwind my relationship with my emotions around communication. So I've had to do some throat chakra work. I literally have had to learn to speak my piece. And communication and talking to people ultimately one on one, I don't have a problem with. I'll talk to strangers in the grocery store. I'll have a whole life conversation with coworkers. That's not an issue. But when it comes to having a difficult conversation, hard conversations, when it's and I'm really not trying to hurt people and I'm trying to just get my emotions up across to that person, it's been difficult. And it's been difficult to do it in my marriage, which makes sense because, in case you don't know, your throat chakra is directly connected to your sacral. When you're in the womb and you're developing, it can look like they're one organ until they separate. So the throat chakra and the sacral chakra organs, they mirror each other. The vagina, the uterus, it mimics the larynx, the vocal cords. Like I said, it's one organ until you grow and you separate as you're growing in your mother's womb as a fetus. So if your sacral chakra or your reproductive organs have shut down, then most likely you have shut down vocally up here. You're unable to speak your truth somehow. And I've had to work through that. I've had to be comfortable. I've had to say, no, that is not true. This is my truth, and speak that and know that that is, whether the person I'm talking to agrees or disagrees, but at least I'm getting it out. And honestly, even while saying this now, it's a little emotional because I've come a long way to be able to do that. I've come a long way. And again, I'm not a shy person. Typically in a room full of people, I can maneuver my way, I can mingle my way through it. But in certain situations, especially, and I noticed, probably with my mom, that's where it started, being able to be vulnerable and share my emotions with her, it's probably where it all started. And my mom didn't have time to care about my emotions. She was in survival mode. She was raising three children by herself for many, many years. And she took very good care of us to be able to make sure we had everything we needed. But when it came down to emotional support, she didn't have time for that. Most Black mothers don't. I trust that now that we are evolving, moms are now giving time for that emotional support that they need for their children. And if they're not, I pray that they learn to, because the children these days, they're going to force you to pay attention to their emotions. Um, and I didn't always feel heard in that regard. So yeah, you be quiet, you shut up. Or when I was feeling very strongly about something, because that is a part of my personality too, it would come out as disrespect to my mother when I was just finally trying to just get things across to her. Um, and so I would have to deal with that, being on punishment or even getting whoopings for saying things that I wasn't supposed to say. So that has been difficult. So you carry that into your relationships. Because we all know that we marry our parents. It's like I didn't have enough of this in my childhood. Let me do this again in my marriage. Let me do this again with my boyfriend or girlfriend. It's like we attract ourselves back to that same type of energy, and life is asking us to work through it, get tools to work through it. Like you're not gonna just escape this. It's gonna still find you, and it finds you in your relationships. Even if you're not dating or married or anything like that, it still finds you. You can have children and you'll know, like, dang, you just like my mama. And or you're just like my daddy. We say it all the time. You remind me of mom, you remind me of grandma so and so. So these energies, they find back, they come back to you, because you still have to work through that and get to the next level in regards to the energies that that relationship is showing you about you. So working on my throat chakra, being able to say my piece, has helped out a lot. A lot. And I know I'm not done. I know more challenges are going to come up in regards to my relationship, more specifically with my husband and with my family, my mom, my sisters. Things are going to come up, but the one that hits home is at home, with my spouse. So working through that, being able to find my voice, not being afraid, um, and a lot of it is just me just doing it. Little by little, making sure I'm able to communicate better. Listening to my partner is one thing I know I have to work on. Um, and making sure I don't get lost in my emotions, to where my voice is elevated. I'm arguing at this point. At that point, the next person that's listening, that's you're in this arguing with, they're not really listening, because now they're on defense mode and they're finding the next thing that they can say to protect themselves. So managing all of that, keeping my energy level down in a controversial conversation. And it's work. This is not easy work. It'd be easier just to yell, say what I have to say, and walk off to the next room, but nothing is getting accomplished. We're going to land right where we were yesterday, and tomorrow may not look any different if I don't start implementing these skills and these tools that I know to do. So yeah, throat chakra work, a lot of that. Root chakra work I've been doing to help with my fertility. And I know, like, all of this stuff, it all makes sense. It's like, okay, I've done everything. I've done all the things that I think I could do to get pregnant. What is missing? And it's the healing work. It's the healing work. And you heal through your chakras by identifying them, knowing where they are, and doing some research to see what is needed. What should I be doing to heal these things? So to me, root chakra work is dealing with my fear of being not being able to survive and being stable. So I've done some hikes. I've got out in nature. I have recently we went to Palm Springs here in California, and I was able to do some small hiking. We went to Joshua Tree National Park, and I think it was the best place to start for people who want to, get into nature, but they still are kind of uncomfortable with nature. They're not comfortable with hikes and things of that nature. So I think Joshua Tree National Park is perfect because most of it you can drive, so at least just you're still there in nature. And then the hikes are really, really small. Or you can do larger hikes, but if you're just barely getting into it, you can do less than a mile hike and still be in nature, still have an adventure, and that has helped me. Even my husband, he was surprised because we were taking a picture on this lookout, and I kind of not I didn't get close to the edge, but I got closer to an edge than I would, and he was surprised. He's like, "I'm surprised you out there that far." I said, "I got to do it. I got to get over these fears. I got to know that I'm going to be cared for. I'm going to be covered." And that everything is working for my good. And I'm not going to do anything stupid, right? We're not trying to you know, we're not trying to test the devil out here, being a daredevil. We're just, letting, not being so afraid so I can't get out and enjoy. So did that. So obviously being in nature is definitely root chakra work because that's where we come from. We come from, the dirt. We come from out of nothingness. We come from, a seed, which you see in nature because you see trees growing. So the best way to start with the foundation is getting out in nature. So that's what I've been doing. This whole summer has been awesome for that. This wasn't a one-time thing. Um, I've spent most of the summer getting sun, hydrating myself. I did a couple of cleanses. So it's been, it's been good. It's been the best one of the best summers because I've traveled a lot as well. Um, and that's one of the things I wanted to do. So that's like fulfilling the desires of my heart. So as I'm waiting for the desire to be a mom to be fulfilled, like I have to get going with wanting to do other things. And traveling was one of those things. I've been to a few places this summer, and that has helped like keep me busy and keep me fulfilled and just giving me peace. Because like I've said recently, if mama is not safe and I'm going to be mama, if I don't feel good with the world, I don't feel at peace with the world, if I feel like I cannot maneuver through the world in any capacity, um, then why would my womb open up to want to bring someone in the world to all of this chaos? So I have to be able to see the world, know that it's chaos out there, right? We're not going to avoid that, but also know that there's also pleasures out here. And when I'm feeling pleasured and I'm feeling at peace and I'm happy and I have joy in my heart and I'm in love with myself, then I know that those are the little icings on the cake of a recipe that can bring it all together, that can bring like what needs to happen for me to get pregnant. Just taking a deep breath because that's I never would have thought that, let's just say 15 years ago. I thought I would need the work that I needed to do was heal my body, but not my mind, like not forgetting about my mind that needs to be healed. And that's been an intricate part in this journey. And I'm just so grateful to be able to say this and vocalize this and to know it from a intimate place with myself. And I really hope that I'm able to, help someone else out. That would be my passion, to be able to have someone else connect those dots the way I'm connecting them on my journey and be able to help someone else do that. Okay, so the shadow work. Shadow work. Okay, shadow work, just brief synopsis, is basically pulling what we have buried or kept in the shadow that we don't want to bring forward, allowing those things to come forward and facing the not so good truth about ourselves. And I've talked about that in a video I uploaded right before this one is who shamed you, or how were you shamed, is talking about the Black Moon Lilith and understanding why were you shamed or how were you shamed, and then how you kind of like deal with that. um and being honest with yourself. Like that has been very important. A lot of this work that I speak on this channel is about being honest with yourself. If you're not ready to face the harsh truth of you, then it's going to be harder to do that work. I like to think I'm very introspective. I like to think I can handle corrective criticism if I'm not being handled in a harsh way. If you're coming to me and you're saying, you know what, Sharona, this is what I've noticed, I'm like, okay, okay. This is what you're saying. I'm taking it in. Um, and that's going to be key in order to get deeper in this healing. You got to be okay with it. So when we say therapy or, having, talking these things out, you're the therapy session is only as good as you are able to be vulnerable in that session and being honest. If you're kind of still holding things because you are afraid to admit this to this person who you may barely know as a therapist, it's going to be harder to kind of break some walls and some barriers. So the more you can be vulnerable, the better. Um, that's why it's important to go to a safe place, be in a safe place where you can eventually cultivate that in that relationship. I know it won't happen on session one, obviously, but that's why it's important to journey and be able to talk to that person, because the more that you're vulnerable, the more they're able to help you. So I'm just saying that even if you're not going to therapy and you're just kind of doing this journey on your own, you have to be willing to be honest with yourself, because life, relationships will therapize you. People will tell you about yourself. People will show you and comment on things. It's just up to you to listen and to be able to identify like what they're saying and being honest with it. Hopefully that makes sense. So even if you can't even afford therapy or you don't have the time, if you're just being mindful and paying attention to what's in front of you, life is therapizing you. Okay? Life is giving you free therapy. Even television shows is giving you therapy nowadays. Um, you really can't watch a lot of these popular TV shows or movies without them giving you nuggets about you. They're reflecting off of you. I believe after 2020, a huge mirror has been shined on planet Earth. So that was the whole 2020 thing about is, doubling up, reflecting you. So it gets deep, that's numerology. We can go deeper on that. But it's been a huge mirror that's been here on planet Earth real heavy since 2020. Of course, I believe it was here before then, but we were so not paying attention. But now, because of what happened in 2020, it is forcing a lot of people, not everybody, but it's forcing a lot of people to pay attention and to know that your relationships, TV, your interactions with people at the grocery store, they're all reflecting you, and to get your attention to say, okay, what am I doing? I keep running into this. You see synchronicities, you see things repeating, you see, oh, I saw that earlier today, or this song keeps playing in my head, and it's like, okay, well, once you go sit down and listen to the song, you see it's some stuff you kind of needed to hear or know for other parts that has happened in your life or your day. So it's a good time to be alive. It's a good time to heal. Um, that's why I'm here. That's what has landed me to be on YouTube telling people how I want to be pregnant on purpose. Like, this is not something I would normally do. Like I said, I can talk to people, get down with the get down, but for the most part, I'm not about to be on camera where anybody can have a view into my life. That's not something I would naturally run into. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing in a nutshell. Like I said, I've been breathing, making sure I'm giving my womb special attention in that area, and of course, making sure I'm giving my womb hydration with water, with liquids, with fruits, foods that are easier to break down, making sure I have colon that are, I'm able to use the bathroom and my colon's being cleansed. Those are some of the physical things I've been doing. But when it comes to the mental and spiritual things, it's been attacking those chakras and doing the work when things come up. And it's been helping. It's been helping. I've had to apologize to my vagina for putting her through so much stress and pain. And, she's like, girl, I get you. I forgive you. We good. So we good now. But I've had to do that. That's the kind of work I've been doing, having conversations with her and letting her know I'm sorry for putting you through that stress. I'm sorry for abandoning you and not paying attention to you and giving you the best that you need. And it's a journey. It's not like I know it now and I'm just cured. No, I have to consciously then make decisions that are healthy for her. So it's been a ride, but I'm grateful. Um, if I can leave this video with any message, just know it's not all about the medication, the herbs, the pills that you may be taking and that you're using to try to get pregnant. Not to say those things won't work, because we have evidence that they do, right? But just know if you've done all that, you've been there in that period of time and still nothing, start to consider chakra work, shadow work, and if you need help and guidance on that, you're more than welcome to book an appointment, to book a consultation. I'll put that link in the description. And we can start to talk a little bit about that. Even if you're not trying to get pregnant, it may be other things you're trying to heal, and it's the same thing. It's the same work that you would have to do to get to that place. Um, of being content and being truly at peace, being out of pain. This is more emotional pain for me than anything. I don't go through necessarily a lot of physical pain, but it's very emotional, very emotional, and that's painful. So yeah, we can talk it out. We can talk in the comments if this is relatable to you, whether you're trying to get pregnant. Let me know. Let me know what you go through. Let me know. Let me know what has been on your heart lately in regards to your fertility, because we can talk that out, because that could be some of the next steps you may want to consider when you know journeying on for that. So it's a lot we can talk about. It's a lot to look at, and I'm happy to help. I'm happy to just be a sister to another sister out there, another couple, because I don't want to forget about the men in regards to this. You guys go through a lot as well. So helping another sister, I know I'm helping another brother, because he's dealing and working with and loving his wife through this, I'm sure. So meet me in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. I'm glad I got on. This has been peaceful, and it's helped me. A lot of times when I'm on the camera and I'm just finally getting out what I've been holding, I do feel a release and pressure in my womb. I feel like I've said that before here. So whether no one ever watched these videos, it doesn't matter, because I'm healing today in this moment by being on here. So thank you for the platform. And let's meet in the comments or book a session and we can meet one-on-one. So peace and blessings to you guys. Thank you.